Hi, it's Tom Caracoli. I'm here with my brother Jerry, and we are the new hosts of a new segment on Bridge Street called Backroads to Bridge Street with Tom and Jerry. And we're really excited to be working with WSYR Channel 9 on this new project. And so I'm going to throw it right out there, Jerry. We're going to interview each other on this one.
We're going to interview each other. And first, let us just say this right off the bat. We sound alike. We look alike. We sound alike. We're identical twins. And so maybe, well, I guess we'll be able to we'll be identified, but we do sound alike and we do look alike for sure.
So why don't we just introduce ourselves and tell the folks who we are and how we got here and all that good stuff. But Jerry, I'll let you start it out.
All right. Well, we're natives of Oswego, New York. Grew up there. Still very much feel like it's part of our hometown in central New York, and love it. Grew up going to school there. We went to Oswego State, played hockey, big hockey guys.
Grew up in the Oswego Minor Hockey organization.
Yes, in the Oswego community. Went, as I said, went to Oswego State. I went for a couple of years. Tom went for 4 years, and then
proud graduate.
Yeah, Tom's proud graduate. I went out to California later of that, and made our way.
And so, you know, we were able to when we were both in college. This is how we started out. We were both in college, and I happened to get an internship with the Boston Red Sox. And when I was
even though we're
junior,
Yankee fans,
yeah, exactly. From Central New York, the heart of Yankee country, I ended up getting a internship with the Boston Red Sox. We visited a friend there, and I'm like, wow, Boston's a pretty cool town, and wrote a letter and got myself an internship, which led into helping Jerry get an internship with the California Angels. And
because I was going to school out there at that point,
and we just networked each other across the country, and through Major League Baseball. That's how we got started, and it's
we've networked each other basically across our whole careers, and that led to different opportunities where people that we met in baseball. I got a chance to work in Australia for Major League Baseball and the Australian Baseball League, and then came back, and Tom was working with the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund and a lot of different areas with the Red Sox programs, and then eventually I got my big break working at CBS Sports, where I worked there for 25 years and have been fortunate and lucky enough to work on some of the biggest sporting events in the country, the Super Bowls and AFC championships and Final Fours and the Olympics. My very first event for CBS
US
Sports
Open
was the 1998 Olympics, and yes, US Open
the
tennis,
Masters.
the Masters.
You know, it's kind of interesting because our backgrounds, when Jerry got to work for CBS, there was an opportunity for me to get into the TV business too through USA Network. And USA Network at that time were partners with CBS in a lot of events: golf, professional golf, tennis. So we worked together quite a bit in some of the earlier parts of our career, which are really interesting and fun. And so, you know, we'd travel to the Masters and to the U.S. Open, spend 3 weeks out at the U.S. Open tennis and on the PGA Tour, all around California and Florida, all these great places.
I wasn't lucky enough to travel as much as Tom did on the golf circuit, but we did definitely
cross paths.
We crossed paths. To the point where some of our colleagues at our respective networks would be like, wow, I just saw Jerry and he ignored me and I thought we were friends. And our colleagues would just have to say, no, he's got an identical twin. You must have seen his twin.
Right.
And so stories like that along the way have been normal for us.
And that's part of our Central New York roots too, because we grew up playing hockey. And we travel throughout Central New York playing hockey since we're, 7, 8 years old. And so now, as adults and professionals, our friends that we played against in Central Square and Skinny Atlas and West Genesee, and who are heated rivals now, are our friends, and we all play together now, and it's so much fun. And that's one of the great things about what's happening now with us after writing 3 books and our experiences.
I'll ask you, Tom. So, we're doing this new segment on Bridge Street, Backroads to Bridge Street with Tom and Jerry. How did that come about?
Well, it's an interesting story, and Jerry and I are storytellers at heart, and we've been telling a lot. We've been writing quite a bit, and as I said, we've written 3 books: Striking Silver, The Untold Story of America's Forgotten Hockey Team; Boycott, The Untold Story of the 1980 Moscow Olympics; and our recent one in June called Icebreakers. And we've been writing for Oswego County Business Magazine and some other local publications. And after looking at our portfolio, he said, boy, these are some interesting stories, and they're not just all sports. There's human interest stories. We thought, boy, these could translate to television, our background in television. So we put together a presentation and brought it to Bill Evans and Don Richmond here at Channel 9 and sat down with a meeting, and they said, gee, we really like this idea. And it's blossomed from there, and here we are. We're 2 episodes in, and we just had a great episode today that we're really excited about. And we hope to have many, many more. We're very fortunate to have Oswego Health as our presenting sponsor. They couldn't be better to work with. Great local community type of healthcare that is expanding throughout Central New York. And we're really excited to be working with them and helping promote what they're doing. And it's exciting. So that's where we are. And Jared, tell us, what have we been doing?
Yeah, I mean, our first 2 episodes. Our first episode was a timely one. It was right before Halloween, and we were pitched an idea about a person that is by day an administrative assistant for Oswego Health Care, and by night a paranormalist. So she's a ghost hunter. So we went ghost hunting. We went ghost hunting in Mexico, New York, at the Star Clark Tin Shop, which was also a prime area.
Last stop, basically.
Basically the last stop for the Underground Railroad back in the 1800s and the 1860s, where slaves were on their way to freedom right before they got on a boat in Oswego to go to Canada. So that was kind of freaky, Tom, right?
Oh, I mean, definitely. I mean, there were some chill factors with that experience. But it was fun. And it's it was a great way to start out and have a different type of experience. And the fact that Oswego Health had somebody that had that background was amazing. So that was really, really great. And
we did. You could feel the presence. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
In this story, our first story.
For sure.
So our second story. Talk to us about that, Tom.
Our second story, which aired today, and you can watch it online now, was a near and dear story to our hearts because it dealt with our former coach and dear friends, Pete and Kay Sears. Pete is an All-American from Oswego State, came to Oswego in 1965, and has stayed here. He and raised his family. He and Kay have raised their family here. And,
daughter Rainey.
Yeah, and Pete went on to win a silver medal at the 1972 Olympics in Sapporo, Japan, and recently had his number retired at Oswego State. First ever in the history of the school. So that was really something special. And I know, it really is, it was an emotional night for us, right, Jer?
Oh, most definitely. We had comments that night when that banner dropped. Clearly, Pete was taken by it emotionally, and we all were. It hit all of us. I think
we all fought back tears.
Particularly his former players and all his friends and the community that was there. They know Pete and Kay, and they're great people and have been pillars of the community.
Yep.
And it really was, as Tom said, it was an emotional night, and it was great. It was great, and an honor to be able to tell that story.
And the other thing too about Pete, Pete's a Vietnam veteran. Here we are, just a few days past Veterans Day. Pete's a Vietnam veteran who was an infantryman in the jungles of Vietnam. So he started school, tried out for the 1968 Olympic team, didn't make it, but caught the eye of the coach who invited him back to try out for the 72 team. But in between, he got a call from Uncle Sam, and he had to go to Vietnam. So we can't say enough about Pete and Kay Sears. They are family to us.
Yeah. And
it was like Jerry said, it was an honor to be able to, like you said, it was an honor to be able to tell that story.
Most definitely.
So what else, Jared, leading into this now, what do we have coming up?
Well, anybody that knows us knows that we're huge fans of The Wizard of Oz. Always have been. It's one of those stories that we've watched since we were little kids. Anybody that watches it with us now is completely annoyed by the fact that we say every word and know the script the whole way.
Among some other movies that have Central New York ties to it too.
Yeah. So our next story is going to be about L. Frank Baum, who many of you probably know wrote The Wizard of Oz, and many of you may not know, it was based right here. He was born in Chittenango and grew up in Mattydale, and I never knew this, but Mattydale was the impetus for the Yellow Brick Road, the forest,
Enchanted Forest,
the Enchanted Forest. In our research, found out that the Yellow Brick Road was actually back in L. Frank Baum's day. There was a road that had a yellow tint to it.
And we won't give away all the secrets here.
Yeah, we're not going to give away it all.
Right.
But
those are some of the...
the fact that story, which is so near and dear to millions of people, and again, to us, was written right here in Central New York. Again, it just plays right into what we're doing on Backroads of Bridge Street with Tom and Jerry, telling these stories about interesting people, interesting places, and
amazing
stories.
And so, Jared, how can people?
I'll ask you what we have all these ideas, but how can people?
Right, and as
if they have any ideas for us,
right? I mean, listen, if you do, great. Send them to Tom and Jerry Media LLC at gmail.com. So spell out Tom and Jerry Media LLC at gmail.com. That's how people can get a hold of us. If you Google us, and you'll be able to see a bunch of different stuff. If you go to WSYR's website and the Bridge Street website and our show, you'll see this information. But Tom and Jerry Media LLC at gmail.com. We welcome the ideas, believe me, because we know there's a bunch of ideas out there. And
we have ideas, but we're sure that we will miss some others, and rightfully so. I mean, we don't know all the stories that are out there, but would welcome any input from viewers.
And so, final thoughts. What do you think, Jer?
Well, again, to be able to tell these stories, as Tom mentioned earlier, we're storytellers. To be able to tell these stories and to see some of these ideas that we've written come to fruition and on air, Backstreet, on Backroads to Bridge Street, it's a thrill. It's a real thrill. It's an honor. And we're just really, really excited to continue to do this, and very thankful to Oswego Health for sponsoring our segment and being a part of it. And of course, we couldn't do it without WSYR. And so again, very thankful to be a part of this team.
And like I say, one of the things that we get a thrill about is being able to marry the words and the images together, because as storytellers, you can put the words on paper, and it's the vision of the reader to kind of encapsulate what that story's about. But that's the neat thing for us as a final word, that we get to do that with great people here at WSYR, and we have some great editors and great storytellers in their own right. So,
very much so.
We appreciate them as well, and again to Oswego Health as well. So listen, we look forward to having you continue to join us on Backroads to Bridge Street with Tom and Jerry.